are some tips that you'd offer while you advocate to get buy-in for a new activity or change to different audience? I.e., you're basically you already know what you're going to do, but you've got to frame it for different stakeholders. Do you have any tips and advice on doing that?
Mm. Mm. Okay, so I'll work with a few assumptions that you don't have a proven reputation to this new audience. I did a video on implementing change. I think you might find that video interesting. To add to that, when I'm wanting to prepare like a presentation or a message to a new audience, I get feedback from people and ask, this is what I'm planning to do. Can you please I don't ask for feedback. I ask, how can I improve? I actually make it clear that there are problems with what I'm probably going to do, and can you please find the gaps? The second is, there may be like a management or there's a team or a group of people, but you would hopefully have access to one person who has a similar sort of frame of mind they could also get feedback from. Because like what, say, management cares about could be different to what development cares about. So then I try to get feedback on what I'm planning to do or planning to present on someone who can present a point of view that I need to do that job well. What are some tips that you'd offer? Okay, that's like the biggest one, the feedback for new activity, change to different audience. And then, like, if it's, I'm not sure if this is like a presentation, I would like practice. I actually also make sure I bring notes. I like to be prepared, because I find like with certain like new stakeholders, I do get quite nervous. So I actually like write quite a bit of notes beforehand, so that way I don't actually forget anything I want to say. I then also, that's if it's a presentation. And then if it's a conversation, I spend a lot of time listening. So then the first meeting isn't about me presenting an idea. The first meeting is a discussion where I try to understand what are their needs, how do they see things, and then bring in any sort of change or new activity later. So yeah, my answer.
So given those answers, you mentioned presentation, conversations. So do you adapt the medium that you're delivering that message in to the stakeholder?
Like whether or not I have a presentation or a conversation?
Yeah, do you know, like, see who the stakeholder is, or maybe if someone new, you probably go with your preferred choice of medium. And if it's someone you know, do you tailor it to the way that you believe they're going to accept it the quickest?
I feel like I should say I always tailor it, but the truth is I tend to just have a conversation and like listen. Yep. Especially because like I've mainly been online lately, so I feel like with presentation, but there's no feedback on what I'm saying. If you have because if you have a presentation, if there's only even like 5 people, if you're like sharing your screen and you're doing presentation, I need to, it's not just about what I'm saying. When I'm having a discussion with people, and I prefer this face-to-face, I like to see how they're reacting. Because I'm like, oh, interesting. I keep a mental note. Oh, so when I spoke about that, they started like reacting in an interesting way. I need to circle back to that later to check if I'm misunderstanding their body language, or they just happen to want to hold their body and hug themselves. Who knows? So the reason I prefer a conversation is I need to see how what I say, how that goes down. And then I spend most of the time listening at the start to make sure I understand where they're coming from correctly. Because, I mean, if people don't feel like you understand them, then why should they listen to any change from you? Because they're like, oh, why should we listen to just one? They don't know that this is how we should be doing things here. They didn't tell us, or we haven't told them about these sorts of problems we're facing. So if they have a opportunity to share those things with you, and then at some point you share ideas, which takes those problems into consideration, then you're more likely, I think, to be successful.